The Freeform Gradient tool in Adobe Illustrator allows us to create very complex, beautiful gradients that would be very difficult to create just using linear or radial gradients. Let's take a look at how it works. And I'm just going to use the curvature tool to create an abstract shape. And I'll fill it with a regular linear gradient. So we just have a grayscale gradient right now. In the gradients panel, we have three types of gradients. We have linear, radial, and freeform. And when I click on freeform, it now converts my gradient into a freeform gradient. The freeform gradient has points mode or line mode. By default, it gives you the points mode. So right now, I've got just a couple of points. Let's take a look at how the points mode works. If I click on a particular point, I can just select from my swatches, say this one, and maybe I'll put another gradient over here that I'll make very bright. Take this one and I'll make it quite dark. Now I can switch to the lines mode and click and just drag around my object, adding points. If I want to change color, I could double click on a color and pick a color from my swatches, and then continue drawing with that particular color. Maybe here I'll go to more of a pink. I can also switch to my regular color sliders. To escape, I can just hold down the Command key. Let's put in some other, some more points up in here. Maybe some cooler, maybe some bluish. Yeah, something like that maybe. And again, I'm still in points mode, so I can just keep taking this all the way around like this. Starting, I don't know if I want it white in here. I think I'll get rid of that one. So you can just select it and then hit delete. Maybe I'll switch to a point. Click a point here and give myself a nice big highlight. And you can just pull that out. Okay, let's try another one. I'll just do an egg-shaped ellipse. Okay, first I'll just do a linear gradient, change it into freeform, and then begin selecting my colors. Maybe I'll switch to lines, up in here with some red, and come down here with some darker, maybe I'll go into a dark purple down here on the bottom. And then into a more blue, and maybe more of a highlight over here with a point. It looks like I could have a little bit more of the dark color down in here, so maybe I'll come in here, like this one, the dark, switch the lines. This one needs to go dark. Something like that. All right, and now I could also use this on a representational illustration. So I have a illustration I started here of this woman. This is based on a photograph where I separated the darks and the lights, and now I basically have my shadows, my base color, and then my highlights. And I want my highlights to blend more naturally with the illustration. So I'm going to select this one. I've already softened the highlights on the nose and the chin and so forth. Let's try this one on the cheekbone here. So with that selected, I'll start out with my linear gradient, convert it into the freeform, and get my flesh colors happening. All around the edge, I want it to be the same color as the base color. So I'm just going to drag this right along the edge. Get rid of this dark one in here. This will be my highlight color. More like this. Get rid of that one. These I might make a little bit lighter. Something like that. Even though this is a vector illustration, and vector illustrations tend to have hard edges, and we can create soft edges and create something that's very realistic looking. I think these on this side need to be modified a little bit because I modified my base color. So the idea would be to have the edge the same color as the surrounding base color in order to get rid of a hard edge that's typical in vector illustrations. So there you have it, the Freeform Gradient tool. It's pretty awesome. I suggest you give it a try.